Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, place of finding advising AFTERBIRTH Plus. Look at this, 10 wins in a row. We've got ourselves back on the horse. That's HP and HP related properties there. Stats are okay. EFDE, RB4E. Little Brim is awesome. Rate of fire. Right, you have to. I mean, it's definitely the right choice to get 9 lives early. Let's just try not to squander too many lives in the early game. You know, we lose a couple, life goes on. I would say I was a little bit... Interesting. I was a little bit needlessly negative at the start of this run. Our stats are not okay. They're better than okay. They just look a little spotty. But they're made up for by the fact that we have Little Brimstone. Like, Little Brim can carry you a long, long way. Check this out. Okay, I got an idea. Yumheart is fine, but I do think Black Hole is better. So we start here, we get a Spirit Heart, we get Black Hole. Then, we go up a couple of steps, throw a Black Hole, like right there. Get another Spirit Heart. All of a sudden, we're kind of off to the races. Now we have another opportunity to get a Tinted Rock. The game has been so kind to us recently. I mean, we can't say anything negative about this right now. I can't even complain about not getting a small rock, because if I got a small rock, I'd be like, that's cool, but, you know, we get a speed downgrade, so whose idea was this to give us a speed? Oh my god, look at this. Try for a second secret room, no such luck. Golden bombs on the first floor are just ridiculously good. You know, there's so... basically, the first floor is the easiest place to find every single secret room. And the only downside is that you usually just don't have the bombs necessary to make it happen. Instead, now we got the bombs, you know, necessary to do whatever we want here. All this being said, we are getting ready to finish with this floor, but, you know, we went from 2 HP to 1 HP, 9 lives, and, like, 5 Spirit Hearts. Absolutely no complaints to be offered. This is how I feel when streaks start to pop off, dare I say. You know, I start the run, and it just feels like no matter what, nothing can go wrong. Or very little can go wrong, let's put it that way. I'm even gonna, you know, I'm gonna try to meet the run more than halfway. Perhaps there is an opportunity for us to get a black market or a crawl space. I'm not really willing to spend 25 minutes to make it happen, but, you know... Somebody does something nice for you, you do something nice for them. That's where we're at in this game right now. Now, I would love to just keep it going. You know, sometimes, if you have too many good runs in a row, you start to feel a little guilty. You know, you go, oh, I wish this run would be a little bit harder, give the fans what they want. I'm not at that point yet. I'm not at the point of guilt, because we had like a month of kind of getting our butt kicked in this game. And it hurts. You know, to go from having a 100 win streak at an earlier point in your life, over 100 actually, and now you're like, oh, win 7, times is tough, you know? It's sobering. It's like being a professional athlete, you know? When you were 26 years old, you scored 63 goals. People were like, he's one of the best players in the NHL. Now you're 35, you know, your brain's gotten better. But your body just can't keep up anymore for whatever reason. It's a cruel mistress, you know? In most other professions, you kind of like get better and better as... Oh, I should have hit the Tinted Rock. And probably should not have opened that, but I thought we'd give it a chance. So we gotta prove, you know? We gotta reinvent ourselves. If 44-year-old Vince Carter can still get contracts in the NBA, we can still bust off a 100-win streak in Isaac. Maybe 1,000. I don't want to say 10,000. That seems a little presumptuous, but I would say like 1,000 is the bare minimum I'd be happy with. Okay. We got a key back. It's very merciful. Bloodshot Eye. I'm evaluating this item. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. Like a Harvard 4. Which is for pooping silly. You go, okay, thankfully you go around the top. Excuse me. Yeah, I was... My brain almost... Can you get cross-brained? You know? Like, you can go cross-eyed. I think I went cross-brained trying to figure out how I was going to dodge. We still got a half spirit heart out of it, but, you know. That was, very, very confusing for my personal standards. Alright. This is where we feel, you know, the tone of the run is set. Once and for... Oh my god, we extruded him through the rocks. It was an ultimate chicken horse, like, Play-Doh situation. Okay. Well, I mean, this is insanely great. Especially with 9 lives, we're definitely going to go for broke here. If we lose all of our spirit hearts, I don't really care. As ridiculous as that sounds. I would prefer not to, but once you get past a certain point, it's like... You're going to die anyway if you take both of these, so you might as well keep playing this guy and see what you get. So I do think you take this. And I do want to take that, but I maybe want to try this first. Just please don't teleport me. Okay. 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 Fair. Absolutely fair. Then we'll grab this, be killed. Come back to life. Use the gauze. Oh, I didn't see the god rays there earlier. That's cool. And, I mean, at this point, we're basically good to go. We don't have the money to spend on our shop. You know what? I will take the scissors, and we'll move on. Wow, NL. Last run, Mom's Knife. This run, Brimstone. Really cool dude. It's Isaac's not so hard when you deliberately take the best items in the game every... Well, okay. Oh, dude, you know what it is? It's a father-son picnic here. We got Little Brim, we got Daddy Brim, and that's a lot of damage. I'm excited. Dude, I hate that. Anyway. You ever go to a father-son picnic? I feel like there's all these things that existed on television shows that I've never experienced in my entire life. Locus of Pestilence is fine. I did do Take Your Kid to Work Day. I sat in my dad's office with a friend of mine and watched Super Troopers. That's not what my dad did for a living, but he was like, I got important stuff to do. You guys are welcome to come to work, but I don't really have anything for you to do here. And we're like, sick, day off from school. But I never, in my middle school, high school career, was there a Sadie Hawkins dance. A dance where the girls asked the guy to the dance. We were, beholden to more archaic gender roles. The guys asked the girls. It was considered the guy's role. It's okay. You know, this maybe is a different story now, but that's how it was in the ancient era of 2004. Times were tough if you were a shy boy back then. You had to learn to deal with it or opt out, I suppose. Never had a father-son or a family picnic. Of course, John Mulaney has already mentioned, you know, as a kid, if you were informed almost your entire life by the existence of cartoons, you would think that quicksand would be a major problem, when, of course, I don't even know if quicksand is, like, a real thing. You think you would hear about it more often, like ghosts, you know? Apparently not, though. There's like a few episodes of every young adult, or every show that has young adult characters in it. There's the episode where, like, one of them gets addicted to something, you know? Like, even in The Big Bang Theory, there's an episode where Kaylee Cuoco gets addicted to the Age of Conan MMO. And it's played for laughs, but simultaneously is like she's ruining her life. It's a really, really flattering view of playing video games. I think it did a lot for the portrayal of a video game audience, or video game addiction for a modern audience. Really appreciate it. Hey, yeah, we'll definitely take the Pact, and then we'll definitely take Magic Mush, and this run is absurd now. I love it. They're certainly going to check the shop to see if we can get Guppy on this train as well. You know, there's always an episode. You ever watch this show called My So-Called Life? Stars Jared Leto, Claire Danes, and then whoever played Brian Krakow, who never went on to, you know, be the same caliber of actor, I suppose, as a Jared Leto or a Claire Danes, Homeland and Suicide Squad, irrespectively. Dude, the Guppy dream is realish. It's like that. There's an episode where somebody comes out. There's an episode where somebody has 2 sips of beer and all of a sudden they're an alcoholic. There's an episode where the parents get divorced. There's an episode where the power goes out and everybody has to bond over playing board games. You know, it was a special episode of the week every single week. By the way, is also a great show. If you haven't seen My So-Called Life, you know, that was a show that informed my life through middle school and high school for certain, and still, I think, holds up to a certain extent to the modern day and age. Yera, please let me out. Anyway, I'm spinning my wheels a little bit here. I just want to defend myself, okay? And I want to defend myself without offending anybody else. I just want you to know, I have not ever actually watched deliberately episodes of the Big Bang Theory, I should say. The Full Bang Theory is a totally different thing. You wouldn't have heard of it. It lives in Canada. But I did see 3 or 4 episodes at the gym a couple times while running several years ago. And if that renders me ineligible for the office of Mayor of Vancouver, so be it. I will, you know, expose myself to the will of the public and accept their judgment however they see fit. I don't like being the guy who asks people to change their TV. I have done it. I routinely do it. Oh, we should check our curse room. Even if you know, so what? Maybe we'll lose a life here. It doesn't really matter. I'll routinely do it in like the months of October and November. Because you go to a lot of places, you know, you look at the TV, they got the Blue Jays highlights on. Well, a Vancouver Canucks game is going on, okay? If I lived in Toronto, I would keep my mouth shut. But I live in Vancouver. So I'll be like, hey, there's a Canucks game on. Can you change the Blue Jays condensed highlights from their like 81 and 81 season? Put on the live Vancouver Canucks game. We could have some civic pride. I mean, I feel like an idiot. I'm in your establishment wearing a jersey watching a baseball game. You know, it makes me look like a fool. Is that what you want your clientele to feel like? You want them to feel like a fool? Apart from that, I don't like to impose my will on the shop owner. You know, if they want to watch The Young and the Restless, then cool, let's watch The Young and the Restless. We have to, right? Like, and you know what? I mean, if we're at half of a heart, why don't we just go with Cambian Conception as well? Doesn't bother me, dude. Doesn't bother me at all. All we want to do, dude, this is a hilarious looking skin right now. All we want to do is not die, and also bang, 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 and a cash register noise, and take your money. What does MIA mean in that song? When she says, no one on the corner got power like us. Hit me on that Bell prepaid wireless. We pack and deliver like UPS trucks, already going hard just pumping that gas. I don't know what she means. Is she talking about moving illegal narcotics? Highway skulls and bones, sticks and stones, and weed and bombs? That sounds like... Yeah, that was a really good idea. It seems a little bit dangerous. Get me out of here. That was not worth sacrificing a life for. I thought the song was a nice one, and it was about, you know, capitalism and running an enterprise designed to facilitate commerce. All I want to do is, you know, the sound of coins jingling and then cash register noise and then take your money in exchange for a good or service at a, you know, rate determined by the free market. No thank you. No thank you to that anecdote as well. Basically, no thank you to anything that's not a guppy item at this point. I've decided, you know, I'm getting a little snobby. I don't really want modest improvements. I want to go for broke. I want to be like one of the spoiled kids you see on my Super Sweet 16. I actually had a dream last night. Speaking of spoiled kids. I had a dream last night that I was at a music festival, and we were choosing our campsites. Something that you can tell is a dream, because, you know, I've been to music festivals before in my life. I've been camping. I would not do camping at a music festival. If you like doing that, I understand that maybe for many people is the preferred way to do it. It's not my scene. I like being able to shower, eat a nice breakfast, get on the shuttle bus, and then arrive maybe like an hour later than the people who woke up and were camping, but I don't like to be dirty. Don't take that as like I'm extremely clean, but like I just don't like to be dirty. I feel very weird if I go outside without showering. It's like people just know. Maybe I'll shower twice before I leave the house. Okay, just see what you get here. Well, lots of guppy opportunities. Way too easy right now. Don't do it. Might as well take it. Woo! Where the heck is our item room? I hate this curse. But anyway, I was at the music festival, and it was like first come, first served to choose your campsite. So me and the people I was with, we were the first people in line. We chose the campsite that was at like exactly the front of stage. It's a weird music festival where apparently you also camp right where you watch the music. Anyway, it's a dream is the thing. And then... That's not gonna open that? Wouldn't you know it, who else happens to be at the music festival? Logan Paul. I know, one of those sinister Paul brothers. Multi-millionaire with his posse. And he says, hey guys, can you give us the campsite that you got? Because we needed to get good filming. You know, we need to get good shots. By the way, if you're going, this Logan Paul guy's a jerk, I'm not going to hold against him what he did in a dream. You know, that's not really in his purview. It's not really his responsibility. Is he a jerk for other things? Yeah, okay. You know, I think there's certainly a case to be made there. I'm just saying, don't hold against him what he did in my dream. And you know, I kind of got the impression that they were trying to big shot us. We weren't giving up our campsite. I mean, first off, we're kind of like, you know, not big shots ourselves, but, you know, you try to come in over the top and be like, hey, we're famous. We'd be like, hey, we're a little, sort of, people know us a little bit. You know, it's not like you can just swoop in and take our territory here. But then at the end, we ended up bonding. You know, he was like, hey, you had a preconceived notion that I was going to be a jerk, and that informed the actions that, you know, you took towards me and the opinion that you had of me before we had ever even discussed anything. And I was like, you know what? Dream version of Logan Paul, you're correct. That's 100% the situation. Did I give him the campsite? Absolutely not. But I learned a valuable lesson about judging people in a dream before you knew them. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, weird. Why did I dream about Logan Paul? And then every news article is like, the fight between KSI and Logan Paul this week. Yeah, you get the idea. YouTube is so weird, dude. I don't know what to say. Here's the thing. There's a lot of like amazing YouTubers who just do like incredible work, are amazing people. And then there's a lot of YouTubers that make me like embarrassed to have this as my job. Like, it used to be like 5 years ago when people were like, oh, you're a YouTuber. What does that mean? You know, that was the question that you got most of the time. Now, whenever I talk to anybody and I go, I'm a YouTuber, they go, oh, 1 second, I'm running out of space. You fool. You sorry fool. Can I delete Isaac episodes dating back to January 27th? That seems appropriate. Recycling bin. Desktop application. Of empty. Empty! Manage. What? Empty recycle bin. Yes. I permanently want to delete these 52 items. Of course. Get out of here. Let me check my space. Tons of it. Nothing to worry about. Now, we'll probably use this to get out of boss rush. Now, and I'm not complaining. You know, again, every job is ups and downs, right? But now people are like, oh, you're a YouTuber. Have you heard of YouTuber controversy? And I'm like, yes, of course. This is my job. Oh, you're a lawyer. Have you heard of O.J. Simpson? Yes, I am familiar with the case of one O.J. Simpson. What do you think about it? What do you think about controversial YouTube thing? I think it sucks. What do you think about it? Yeah. You got it. It's not that frustrating. I think it's better that people know about the industry now instead of being ignorant of it, which was just more like, I hate having the conversation of being like, so, you know, you ever watch a YouTube video? And people are like, yeah. I guess we'll take this. And then, you'd be like, hey, so you know, like, when you watch a YouTube video, there's an advertisement in front of it. They'll be like, yeah. And you're like, well, I get paid when you see that advertisement. And they're like, what? I do not understand what you're talking about. Which used to be the way that that conversation went down most of the time. Especially when you're talking with, you know, you apply for like a credit card or something. The bank is like, I need you to come in because I have no idea what you do. And then for like 2 years, it was people being like, my son is a big fan of Minecraft. Do you know who Sea Nanners is? And I'm like, yeah. Have you met him? Nah. Now it's like, what do you think about terrible controversy that happened on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's weird, dude. I don't know how YouTube went from like ascendant, and this is not to say that YouTube's in a bad place, but I don't know how we went from like ascendant new media, we're so agile we can do things that the old media can't do, we're not beholden to any masters and blah blah blah, and we're already in like the celebrity boxing phase. Like, I thought celebrity boxing... Did we poop a rainbow poop when we got hit? There's no offense meant to anybody who's been on the program Celebrity Boxing, but, you know, in the early 2000s, if you had gotten into celebrity boxing, it was because you were, like, financially derelict. Tanya Harding, you know, Dustin Diamond, the guy who played Screech on Saved by the Bell. It was like the Fox network was like, we'll pay you 6 figures or 5 figures. All you gotta do is get in the ring and embarrass yourself, and people were like, I'll do it. I would do it, possibly, you know, depending on where I was at in my career. If they were like, oh, you and, I'm trying to think of who would be, like, the perfect person for me to fight. Like, me versus, like, the German YouTuber who plays Isaac. It would be, like, a perfect match. The international audience would go wild, you know, for 10 years in the future, and they're like, I'll pay you 100 grand to do that. I mean, I hope that I wouldn't be in a position to have to consider it, but I might. Leviathan. I'll take Sacrificial Altar at this point, just because we can. We lost not Little Brim and not Rodden Baby, so I'm a very happy man as far as I'm concerned. I'm not saying I would do it, I'm just saying I would consider it. Depending on where you're at in your life. Now it's like these two guys are I don't know if they're at the top of their game. I don't follow their numbers that closely, but you know, it's going to be a very popular event. And it's all you know, it's a dog and pony show, right? Like, I'm sure that you know, even when they're yelling at each other in public, probably behind the scenes, they're like, dude, we're going to make so much money off of this, which is fine. You know, again, it's only entertainment, as Jay-Z would say. Why you have to be mad? It's only game. But it's a weird place, dude. I think we should fight. Oh, this is knives that are lasers that shoot knives. We gotta try, right? Like, now I'm upset. Can we still? I don't know. We probably do want to fight Hush. It also gives us Empty Vessel. I'm just a little nervous because if we fail at the Hush fight, we're gonna have to do it 6 more times and then we're gonna lose the streak, you know, on 1 HP, which is gonna be devastating. So I think maybe if we could generate a few more Spirit Hearts en route, that would be nice. Maybe don't use keys though, because you could use those for sure on the Hush fight. Take a quick peek for some HP. I don't think it's gonna get over here. That's not really what I was looking to do, but okay. Sure, you know, we tried. There is a curse room. I mean, I think if we can, because we can fly, we probably should try to go to the curse room in the arcade, see if we can. I mean, that's the thing, it's like we're so far ahead of schedule. It's not that I want to speed through the run, I just don't want to take damage if we're gonna go fight the Hush. The Hush? You got the Hush. Okay, good. I didn't mean to blow, to have a chance to blow up the demon judgment there, so happy to see this turn out a little bit better. If you can give us a red heart, we can actually take advantage of the fact that you've given us 2 half hearts here. A map. Well, I would describe that as inessential, for sure. Don't want to open that. We need keys before we open things. Because if we're going to go do the hush fight, the keys are more important. Broke even. Honestly, I'm looking at this one, and I'm going, I don't think this is the one. I don't think this is a hush run. I'm definitely going to take the mom's knife. Maybe it makes me a baby, maybe it doesn't, but if we can, I'm just going to say we can get some more keys and start to think about it. Like, our damage is pretty great, but I don't know. I don't really want to throw it into question this early. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, why not? Just don't die is the big thing. Like, if we can get through this without dying, that would be awesome. So I'm going to go to maybe shop item room is my thinking right now. What do I like? I like this. Dare I say, this is the right place to use a Yara. We get a little bit more money. We can buy 2 spirit hearts. We didn't need to buy the second bomb. 2 hearts is irrelevant. The coupon, I don't think we can really use that effectively here. Then we'll use a key here. 99 bombs, but like, the thing is, 99 bombs is way better, but we're never, ever going to use it. Like, what are we going to use 99 bombs for? We shoot knives out of our face. What makes you larger? No, thank you. We shouldn't need to take advantage of that. So this, I'm being a little conservative, and I think it's with good reason. It's always better if we can hit him with the knife, by the way, but if we can't, hitting him with the thrown knives that do less damage, but are much easier to not take damage when you use them, fine by me. So I think there's a couple of reasons I'm doing this fight right now. I don't want to make it too academic. You're like, I've seen the Hush fight 300 times. You don't need to talk about the fact that, oh, well, his super armor makes him real annoying. You know, I understand. But part of the reason I'm doing the fight is because I haven't done it in a while, and I want to keep my confidence up so I can feel good about doing it in the future. You know, and not feel like it's putting me in a terrible spot where there's no way I could ever do it. The Delirium fight, I will only do if there's a 3,000% chance we succeed. That fight is, you know, I don't want to throw out the poorly designed thing. It's like my #1 pet peeve is when people play a video game. It happens on Twitch so often, and I just want to be like, please, stop this. They'll do something for 2 seconds in a video game, and it doesn't work the way they initially expect it to work, and they go, well, that's stupid. What kind of developer would think of that? That's stupid. They should change that. That's bad. That's poorly designed. It's not like this. It should be like this. And I'm just like, yeah. Relax. That's what and I'm guilty of it, I'll admit, okay? Like, I skip past tutorial text all the time, because I'm like, yeah, I've played a video game before. I see other streamers do it as well, and I understand the irritation. Like, they skip past the reading, and then they're like, how do I do this? The game didn't tell me how to do it, and it doesn't work the way I thought it's supposed to work. Just want to drag them by the scruff of their neck and be like, you see this? That's a quote about being an astronaut. We must have gotten Dark Bomb when we got hit. I don't even want the library. I want to open things in the chest. By the way, the Hush fight went fine, and I clearly had no reason to be afraid. So that all being said, I think the Delirium fight and the Void in general is kind of poorly executed. It's not what I want out of an Isaac game. Well, I mean, it's the classic kind of like Isaac discussion, right? I think not as much as it happened in other games. You know, there are games where streamers, and I'm including myself, have directly or indirectly contribute to the ruin of a game. Isaac, I don't think it ruined the game, but I think streamers have kind of had like I didn't want that. Have had an impact on the way that the game is balanced that has compromised some of the fun parts of Isaac. Certainly is still very good though. Like, I think the fact that, and this is kind of speculation, but I think the fact that, you know, Nicholas goes on Twitch and they see that there's people busting out like 400 streaks on the regular and being like, this game's an automatic win, made them think that what people wanted was for the game to be harder. And it's not really the case. Maybe they want it to be harder, but they don't want it to be harder by giving enemies things like, you know, super armor, or, you know, no matter how powerful your run becomes, this enemy is still difficult to kill. That's not what they're looking for, you know? What really drives people, at least what drives me in a game like Isaac, is finding the best way, or the most fun way, to construct that wombo combo run and then executing it over and over and over. So to make the game harder is fine, but when you create an enemy who's their whole thing is just like, no matter how much damage you do, divided by 10, you're like, no thanks. Thank you for making them optional. That would have been a huge mistake. But not really what I'm looking for. Alright, look at this. We're just gonna stand so close to me. Fun run, great run, easy run. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.